Welcome back to Teachable Moments with April podcast. I am your host, April. Inspire, host, create, explore endless new possibilities, next level broadcasting. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so many more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. Good evening, Miss Mary.
Good evening, April. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so we're going to talk about two things. We've been seeing a lot of things on the news in regards to different migrants or refugees from, it looks like, various countries coming over or having issues coming over. They find different lifeboats, finding them in the water, unfortunately exposed to the elements and so forth and so on. So Miss Mary was talking about some of her thoughts about the U.S. government helping those people in other countries that are undergoing all kinds of trials and tribulations and different things that maybe regular people like ourselves may not actually know unless we're told, through, different newscasts or whatever. I have to be honest, and I feel a little bad that I am not aware of all the things that people are going through around the world in regards of what's pushing them out of their countries. That's something that I always wondered about. And I used to date a young man, and he was from a certain part of Mexico. And I remember one particular Thanksgiving, he came over. I had been dating him for quite some time, and he started to talk about the part of Mexico that he was from. And while he was talking to my mother, I asked him a question, and he was very, very loved his country, the part of Mexico that he was from. So I asked him a question that I don't think I ever asked him. And the look on his face, it really, he got upset because I said, if you seem like you really love it, he goes and visits or whatever, we go and visit. I never accompanied him to his part of Mexico, but when I asked, I said, if you loved it, what made you leave? Or why aren't you still there? And he got really, really quiet, and he looked upset. And, we're both similar in the way that we are kind of introverts, kind of quiet. But if we know you, we'll talk to you, and we knew each other. And I kind of thought about it in that moment. He never talked about why he left. And when I asked him, he seemed angry, actually. He seemed upset, and he gave me a look, and I was like, I didn't know what I had done or said that was wrong, but it always stayed with me. And I wondered, I know a lot of people from other countries, not just Mexico, from Romania, Moldova, and different places. When you're out and about, you work in different settings, different people come into your work setting, but no one ever actually would talk to me about why they actually left their country. And I find that very interesting of why, when you ask just a question, because they love their countries, they will talk about all the beauty, all the things they're reminiscent of. But when I have asked people, they never really, I don't know, something comes over them, and I don't know, is that something that is that in poor taste to ask? They get, you can see the emotion, and some people just clam up, some people get up, like I said, get upset, but they will not talk about what is it that maybe unfortunately pushed them out of their country. There's something that has taken place. Not everybody that comes here, something catastrophic has happened, but that's been my experience. So I'm going to leave it to Miss Mary to talk about what she would like to say about that, and about the United States assisting or helping, and versus them actually helping the people that live here as well. All right, Miss Mary.
Well, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. It's just that it's a few questions and discussions I've had with you, which I usually don't go outside of talking to anyone else about it, because we don't seem to agree on anything, or they don't seem to understand what I'm saying. I know this lady, I don't know where she used to live, but she makes her home around the bus little stand that they have where people wait for buses. She's been out there for years and years and years. And I would like to ask her story, but she seems like she's very angry. I could understand. She walks in the street, she don't stop to call. I encountered her in the store one day, and she was angry. She was arguing with the cashier, blah blah this. She is the homeless.
Right.
And people got rid of her cart. Mean people took the cart and dumped everything out and stuff. Right. And she had to just carry stuff around. And I can't imagine my life being that bad. It's not the best in the world, but I can't imagine living like that. But my thing is I'm not blaming Biden, government, or whoever decide to do this. I just don't understand. Everyone should help anyone that they can. I know I do. But why do you send all this money over to Ukraine? I think that's the place it is. And Lord, they have my heart with the things that they are being bombed, they're out of their home. It's really sad.
Okay.
That we can't love, or you can't get together on a love. It is always violence. But what I can't understand is that you will send all this money, weapons, jets, and everything over there, but you won't build homes, affordable homes, or homes, period, for people that was born here. And make sure they have a nice dry place to lay their head. Food on the table. We are one of the richest countries, they say there is. I haven't been to a lot of countries. I traveled a lot, but not a whole lot of countries. And I've always been in what you say, the guest section. I wouldn't know how the regular people live, because they're not going to take you there for a tour. Okay. That's where I'm coming from. And if these people are having such a difficult time living in their country, why aren't we trying to help them to stay in their country? Find out what's the core of causing these people that love their country so. They bring all their customs to this country so they can keep their customs, their language, and everything in their country, and be happy with each other. Find out what causes them to risk their lives in water, on the top of trains. They seem like they'd rather be dead than to live in their country. But they say they love it. Once you talk to them, once they gotten straightened out here, gotten assistance, housing, jobs, whatever, you talk to one or some, and they'll tell you, I love my country. My country is magnificent. My country